guys, welcome back to another episode of the C Word Chronicles podcast. I'm your host, Olivia.
And I'm your co-host, Ribu, a.k.a. The Muffin Man.
Okay. For those who are just listening, Ribu has this massive muffin that we got he went to Costco to get snacks and ended up with 2 Costco-sized cartons of muffins.
I love me a good muffin. I think it's genetic. I know my dad likes good muffins too. But I just went to Costco. You know how you walk around Costco and everything just looks delicious?
Yeah.
I always avoid the bakery area.
It's dangerous.
This time I didn't, though. And so I went and I was like, I saw blueberry muffins there. And I was like, why the hell not? Why the hell not? And went to go check out. I got other stuff, too, of value.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
and I checked out and the guy was like, hey, this is buy one, get one free. And I was like, another whole set of huge muffins. Look how big this thing
that's
is.
like a 6-inch muffin.
6 inches is a lot. And so they got me a whole nother pack of 6 muffins.
Yeah, this is
So
chocolate drizzle.
12 muffins at the house.
You sure do.
And
you sure do.
Am I upset about it? No. Did I create value? Yes.
Yes, you did.
Yes.
At Costco, where it's already so valuable.
Yeah,
you did.
If you come to my next infusion, I'll give you a muffin.
Yeah, let's add that on to the tab. Costco is one of those things, like when you're a certain age and in a relationship or married, that next step is getting a Costco membership.
There's so many young people at Costco. People who are probably 25.
Like coupled up.
But I feel like a lot of the fitness influencers are there.
Yes. And I've seen them create videos at Costco. You get your ground
One
bison.
of them was dancing TikTok.
Yeah. Costco's the place to be. I love their clothes. I saw a TikTok recently where they're like, you're getting older when you get your clothes at Costco.
Yeah.
I was like,
I think my pants are Costco.
But from there, I love them.
Yeah, I bought some clothes yesterday.
Golf pillows,
some
granola bars, protein bars.
Protein. We've gotten their naan before.
Delicious.
A little hint of India. Costco.
Delicious. I love their kimchi.
What is kimchi?
Nope, Korean.
You sure?
I'm positive. On that note,
everything pickled considered Korean?
No. No.
How about pickled cucumber? Is that Korean?
Yeah, that's Korean. I love Korean food. I think that's top favorite for me, Korean food.
Korean barbecue.
Korean barbecue. I love pickled, fermented anything. I love kimchi. What's that other one? Kimchi is fermented cabbage with a bunch of garlic and spices.
When did you find out?
I feel like this coming in hot.
What is a pickle?
Is it ferment like a cucumber in vinegar?
When did you find that? When did you find that out that it was a cucumber?
I think I knew that all my life. No, how about you?
Probably in the last 5-10 years.
Really?
Yeah. Isn't that crazy? Did you know that?
What did you think it was?
You always knew that?
Yeah.
Can you put down the muffin then? Put my muffin back. You did not know that.
But you just know,
Wow.
I don't know. You just
they do not taste the same. One's a pickle, one's
some of them do, yeah. I grew up eating San Antonio shout out, the back of an ice cream truck, pickle in
You grew up in the medical center.
Or in the at the movie theater. The big pickles with so much sodium.
Yeah, but you ate them, but you knew it was a cucumber?
I just knew. Yeah, you just know. I don't know.
I didn't know. I didn't really eat pickles though.
That's crazy. But anyways, I love pickled things. I think, what's your favorite condiment? Mine's vinegar.
Vinegar?
I love vinegar. Vinegar on anything. Balsamic vinegar.
Balsamic vinegar.
Apple cider vinegar. Red wine vinegar.
What is my favorite condom?
I think yours is ketchup.
No, it's not. I just said that.
I think it's ketchup.
I don't eat ketchup on a daily basis.
You don't have to eat it daily for it to be your favorite.
I saw a commercial where the girl was supposedly poor, and she had. You probably haven't seen this. She was eating spaghetti with ketchup. That was their normal.
Oof. Bless.
But the commercial was from Heinz, and they were advertising how back in the day they didn't have no sugar added, but now they do. So it's even better, I guess, to put on your spaghetti.
Oh, okay. I never heard of that one. Where you put, but I mean, it's tomato based. I could see it being good.
I always remember seeing.
Go ahead.
I always remember.
It's gonna be a long one, guys. Buckle up. We haven't podcasted in a long time.
I remember when I was younger and we got our ketchup bottle. I remember always seeing The benefits of lycopene.
Lycopene.
You remember what I'm about? It was always on every ketchup bottle.
Yeah. What are the benefits? Doesn't it
No benefits. I have cancer. There's no benefits. No lycopene. All that ketchup I've been eating probably caused it. No benefits.
Too much lycopene.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
anyways, yeah, go ahead.
Anywho, welcome back. Yeah, don't forget to follow me at the Baby PT on Instagram and TikTok. I post stress-free baby development content for millennial parents, so go give me a follow.
And follow me on Ribu 18. I post stress-free adult film content, NC-17
plus.
Like it, subscribe, have fun with it.
Right. Don't forget to follow us on here on the YouTubes at Stewart Chronicles Podcast.
And you have YouTube too, the Baby PT.
I do. We've started posting more there. YouTube is a different beast, man. It's so hard to shift your brain to long-form content coming from short-term content.
Yeah.
Short-term content? Yeah.
They're not, we don't call them short anymore.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Smaller content. Like, to be able to talk on YouTube, a YouTube video, amazing. And
you like it better?
Not have to rush. Yeah, not to try and get everything in 30 seconds. It's a game changer, but it takes a lot more time.
The OGs will know my YouTube background. John was there for it. I'm guessing I inspired you.
Maybe a little.
If you guys want to, these are not released. These were released. Re-released, kind of like Disney re-releases.
They were good. Y'all were all
over San Antonio.
All over San Antonio. Anywho, guys, so per my Senora vibes, weather update, still hot as hell.
Humid
hasn't changed, and it's a little rainy. And you know what we're already doing on like Good Morning America? We're already starting like the fear mongering of the sweltering
that
heat.
Word fear mongering.
You know how like they're like, if you stay out too long, you'll die, or like heat stroke. They're already like doing segments on like protecting yourself from the heat, and I just think it's funny because we've like
we do this every year.
Every year.
You think people actually protect? I guess we do.
Yeah, I don't know, but I just thought it was funny because it's like hot, but it's nothing compared to how it's going to be in the true like.
What are you projecting, weatherwoman for the summer?
Predicting, and how come every year they say we're having a drought when they're saying this is historical rain season? How come they always say that?
The barometric pressure changes with the seasons.
Okay.
So the influx of cold weather coming from the north mixed with the warm from the south creates a drought.
I don't even know where the north and south is.
Okay, North America, South America.
Okay. So anyways, that's the weather update. That's my Senora vibes. I've been chilling in the mornings, barely drinking my coffee because our tyrant of a son decides to want to drink from my cup the minute I sit down with my hot thing of coffee. Is anyone else's kid
addicted to Miss Rachel?
We have to talk about this.
Yeah. We know Miss Rachel's song. I'm sure all the parents do Miss Rachel's song.
I'm so happy.
What? Jump.
I'm so happy.
And therefore, we're breaking that cycle. But Miss Rachel, shout out to you. You've
killing it. I truly
tried to holler at you back in the day, but
I mean, our son, the way he smiles and looks at Miss Rachel,
as if she's the mother.
Yeah, I'm like, what the hell, man? But it's just Miss Rachel. It's just her.
We tried Miss Sarah. The connection wasn't there.
It wasn't there. He was like, put it back.
Yeah.
He said, put it back now.
Know what you're doing.
Anyways, what's up with your sports?
So sports have been, how do I say, a lot. We had the PGA Championship where Brooks Koepka.
Love him.
Won. I feel like I walk like Brooks Koepka.
Let's talk about this. Everyone, if you're driving, pull over.
I don't
you're watching,
look like him.
Zoom in.
I don't look like him. I feel like I walk like him.
He thinks he has this, and I can kind of see it. Y'all's body is kind of the same.
Yes.
Very athletic.
Oh, thank you.
Like broad shoulders,
tight waist, big.
Right. And every time he comes on the TV, he's like, I think I look like him.
No, I don't look like. Well, I don't ever say I look like him. I always think when he walks,
he's cute.
I mean, maybe I do look like him, but I feel like I walk like him. Anyways, he won the PGA Championship.
Yeah. How much money did he make? How much money do you make?
Oh, it has to be in the millions. I'm sure like $2 million or something like that, something crazy. But he won. This is the 5th major. Dang, so shout out to him. I have one from the GCI, Gulf Coast Invitational from a couple weeks ago. Actually, no, I have 2. When you're a champion, you just forget.
You forget.
I I have 2 from GCI. Brooks has 5, so I'm trying to catch up there. He got one up on
I think
me.
you'll get there. I mean, it's just a matter of time.
I think so too. Then we had the playoffs. So the Lakers lost to the Nuggets of Denver. In my traveling the past few weeks, I met a lot of Nuggets fans.
I guess you did go through there.
And then we had an epic Celtics Miami game. What was great was the Celtics Miami game 6. The whole family, my mom and dad were at home.
Oh,
they
your
were
mom
watching.
was
You were
glued.
watching. My mom said because she watched game 6, she was like, I need to watch game 7.
Yes.
That's what John said too.
That's what John said too. These bandwagoners over here.
But Jimmy Buckets, Himothy Buckets.
You mean Michael Jordan's
Himmy
son?
Butler, Himmy Buckets, aka Michael Jordan's son.
I stand very
If
firm.
you search Jimmy Butler, I was looking at highlights last night. If you will search Jimmy Butler on YouTube, literally that's everything.
Yeah, because I think it's Michael Jordan's son, babe.
I think you should lead the charge on this. Like
Where
just
to start?
seduce
Where do you
Jimmy
start,
Butler,
you know?
and then just put a Q-tip in his mouth, and then Michael Jordan slept with millions of women. It can't be too hard, you know.
Yeah, I'm sure Jimmy Butler has as well.
Think if you solve that.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
And then I
Anyways.
get sued probably.
By who? The son?
Michael Jordan.
But Celtics lost to Miami in Game 7.
That was a bit of a blowout, huh?
Yeah, it wasn't.
It wasn't like that much of a fight.
Yeah. But now it's going to be the Nuggets and the Heat in the finals.
And who do you predict?
I don't know.
So the Nuggets team, are they very stacked, or is it more so just that one player?
They're a good team that's played together for a long time. And they have the best player in the world right now playing.
What's his name again?
Jokic. The Joker. And best player in the world surrounded by a deep bench and a good team. But then you have the Heat
I'm rooting for them. Little underdog moment.
They're an American story.
Right.
They're like when British attacked America.
Right.
Go
on.
You know, everybody knows the story there, so I'm not going to have to say it.
In other news too, San Antonio fans
Go ahead.
I can't remember his name. It just left my mind. Who did we get?
Victor Wembanyama.
Yeah.
I'm hoping I pronounced his name right. He's probably going to be the podcast sometime.
Yeah, we'll double check before he comes on, but I think that's how you say his name, and he's just gonna be. He lit up the city.
It's crazy he's coming to this city. Yeah, San Antonio is not that big to me, so it's like maybe we'll see him somewhere. We saw Brent Forbes, Patty Mills, Tony Parker at Lifetime Fitness.
Yeah,
I was talking to.
Well, they all live up here, so
DeJounte Murray was there.
Yeah, so. But this guy's good, right? Like, what's his
supposedly?
deal?
I mean, he's supposed to be one of the best prospects ever to come in the NBA. 7'3", dribble, shoots.
And he
literally today, there's a highlight of him throwing it off at 7'3", throwing it off the backboard, catching it through the legs while he's in the air. That's and at 7'3".
I can't even fathom 7'3". Can
you imagine like playing someone at 7'3" and he's supposed to guard him?
He's like super young, right?
I think he's like 19 or 20.
Oh my gosh. I did see today that Tim Duncan's gonna come back and be his mentor. Or come back and mentor. I love Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan is to me how Dirk Nowitzki is to like the Dallas people. Like he was my first love. Just love him. Absolutely love him. Yeah. Can do no wrong. I think he's so cute.
Do you like Dirk?
I like Dirk because you like Dirk, but not really.
Let's move on.
You know what I mean? Okay, let's move on. This is a touchy subject. Dirk, So today's episode, we're catching up. It's been weeks. It's been 2 weeks, I think.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, 2 weeks. Since we filmed, because we've been a little busy all over the United States. So we'll get into that. So since we've been like going crazy everywhere, I thought today's C word would be appropriate. No other than the C word being. We interrupt the podcast for today's sponsor. Hey, podcast fam, it's time to level up your work from home game. Introducing ErgoSpace Store, your go-to destination for ergonomic office chairs that blend comfort and style. Whether you're a remote worker or creative genius, their Duo 5 black frame chair is a game changer.
Experience the perfect balance of support and relaxation. Head over to ergospacestore.com, browse their collection, and create your dream office setup. Your back and my back deserve the best, and ErgoSpace Store delivers. Elevate your work experience today. Use the code C-Word Chronicles for $50 off your order.
I thought today's C word would be appropriate. No other than the C word being chaos. But first, let's get into our segment, Peaks and Pits.
Peaks and Pits.
Damn it! I
The
pushed
red
the wrong
one.
one. Sorry. Pause.
Peaks and the red one. Peaks and pits.
Well, you want to go first?
Peaks and pits. Hit it. Oh, you want to go first?
Yeah.
Peak is going to MD Anderson, getting all my scans completed, and everything coming back stable.
Woo!
Stability.
Stability, that's huge. That's
Yeah.
obviously all of our peaks too.
I was so nervous going. This is last week, so today's May 31st. So last week, so nervous the day before.
So nervous.
This is the first scan since infusion and all that stuff. Got the scans back. The doctor said we're very happy. Got the impressions back a few days later, and not that bad at all. Maybe some minor growth in a few areas, but nothing like major.
Nothing new, nothing, yeah.
The doctors met today as well, and I just messaged to say, hey, there's anything different in their opinion. They were like, no, doctors reviewed it.
Multiple doctors.
Yeah, people took measurements, measured it, and radiologists looked at it, and everyone says, you're good, you're stable.
That's so big. What
So
a relief.
that was huge, and so I'm excited about that. That's
We were
definitely
so worried when we went to, which we'll get into, we went to do your second round of chemo last week.
Yeah.
Last Thursday, yeah. And they had to do all the tests, all the imaging to see 6 weeks worth of his chemo, if it's making a difference, if things are growing, if it's more of the anaplastic component. They were looking for like incredible growth, like just kind of taking over, which we were really nervous about, or things just going at a faster rate. And this is like an ideal thing that came of it, right? Like they're really, aside from it like shrinking, I guess would be the the big thing, but it's only one round of chemo from this imaging,
and a lot of it are these scans from February too, if not December.
That's right.
And so the growth is marginal, but that's what they told me from day one back in December when I joined that support group. Julie would always tell me it's all about stability.
Yeah, we're just looking for stability.
Yeah, so to hear that and them be happy with it, and
it was so
felt
good.
like an accomplishment.
Yeah, it was so good. It was so surreal because we were there, and the doctor who told us they were very happy. They were like, I think she even said like, you need to be happy.
Yeah,
you need to celebrate this. She was like, go home, hug Julian. And I was like, oh damn, were we not thinking the same thing?
It's because they classified me as anaplastic, which means like everything spreads so fast.
Yeah, and they'd have to start more targeted stuff if this.
Well, I don't have anything to target. But
yeah, that's right.
And so it's like, well, I have one thing, but it's not that great. But so it's like to hear it's not growing at a rapid rate, and plus because like my voice has been changing, so it's like I know it's because of the medication.
Yeah,
it's like sounds like I'm going through puberty. I'm like in meetings sometimes, and I'm like, hey guys, and it's like my first month, and they're like, oh my gosh,
so they're like, who is this child?
And
it's
like even
your
today,
chemo, right? That makes your voice.
That's the only thing. So
yeah, you've had minimal side effects from the chemo.
Yeah, every now and then getting the loose bowels, as they say.
Yeah,
and so
manageable.
Like other day, I was in a meeting, and I tell you what, my stomach hit
when it says like it's time. It's time.
And you know how like when a meeting's ending or like you're waiting, and the urge to go to the bathroom is worse. Like your body knows.
Yeah.
I tell you what, they said bye, but they kept talking. I was like, oh my God, I gotta go.
I know. Yeah, when you gotta go, you gotta go, especially with that.
And it's worse when someone joins in the stall next to you,
It's worse, but look, like, what are they gonna do? You have cancer, you gotta go.
Yeah, I could use that.
You know what I mean? You can use it to your 100%. Advantage.
But overall, been good, stable, and thanks for the support. Everybody should know.
Amazing.
You've
gotten so much support.
Yeah, everyone's prayers and support and texts and DMs and
yesterday, shout out to our friend from PT school, Lauren Boda. She sent us through the mail the sweetest gift, which I'm going to keep in the back of my head, like to use for, hopefully we don't ever have to use this, but she sent us 2 Starbucks gift cards and a gift card to a restaurant here. And she just wrote like the sweetest little message and said like, hope this you can use this for a date night and take a break. And I was like, oh, that's so thoughtful. That's nice. So sweet.
Yeah. Pretty much send gifts. You know?
Moral of that story is we'll list
Minimum
our
$100.
address, like our P.O. box right here.
Yeah.
You can always DM. No, just kidding. But no, just that was just so thoughtful and obviously really sweet.
Yeah, so that's definitely a peak. You want to do your peak?
Sure, I'll do my peak. So since it's been so long since we've been on the pod, I wrote this peak when it happened. And my peak is that I had a fantastic Mother's Day.
Nice.
I can't believe we haven't convened on the pod since Mother's Day, but I had a great Mother's Day. It was Rib was like, "What do you want for Mother's Day?" And I was like, "I don't think I really want. I can't think of like an actual gift, but honey, what I would like for Mother's Day is to take a nap."
Did you?
And I would like to sleep in, and I would also.
Oh yeah, me and Ju went to Starbucks.
Yeah, y'all, and I would just like. Just to sleep in, I think was the only thing. And so y'all went to get me Starbucks, and I woke up to Starbs. And I think one of my things was like I tend to have very quickly like decision fatigue. And so a whole day with Julian is like, okay, and I'm sure every parent can relate. What is he going to eat? When is he going to eat? Is his nap going to be back on schedule? How many ounces are we doing these days? Like, da-da-da. And so, and obviously Rib works so hard and he's away at work during the week. So it's up to me and my mom to do that. So to take that off of my plate for that day on the weekend was so nice. And you obviously killed it, crushed it.
Can I say?
You had a great day with Juge and you gotta have to think about what to feed him. I don't know. Does anybody else get that? Like, it's very natural for me to obviously feed my child, but sometimes I think it's a lot when you're in the house all day.
Yeah, you
know, we didn't have any like trips planned, or we didn't go out, so we kind of had to like plan for meals. So that was nice to get off my plate. And I had a great Mother's Day. Got flowers.
Oh, I'm glad you liked it.
I can't remember what else.
Oh, I got you a exfoliating cloth.
Yes.
I looked up best Mother's Day gifts, and one of them was like this crazy high-rated exfoliating towel.
Mm-hmm. It's literally just a towel with some
and
texture.
And it's literally still sitting in the bag.
Still
it hasn't been
there.
used yet. I'll probably use it.
And you got me, which I do plan on using.
Yeah.
This hydrosonic cleaner for like your jewelry and
your glasses.
Stuff. And my glass? And your glass. Like to clean your glasses, yeah.
Popcorn stuff.
You like yes. Popcorn? And you got me like this highly rated popcorn.
Seasoning
and stuff. I was like, this is the most random gifts ever, but I appreciate it.
I thought it came with seasoning and a bucket of popcorn, but I didn't read the Amazon thing.
Literally.
It was seasoning and a bucket of coconut oil.
No, it was seasoning, a bucket of like popcorn coconut oil to make fresh popcorn.
Oh, okay.
With the like classic popcorn bags, the red and white striped popcorn bags, but no kernels.
No popcorn. No popcorn.
I was like, that's okay. Thank you. So it was a great Mother's Day. It was technically my second Mother's Day.
Yeah.
Gigi was so young so little on my first one, and I was still in a damn daze of being a new mom.
Yeah.
I don't really remember that one that much, but this one was really good.
Yeah.
Okay, what's your peak?
My pit.
Your pit.
My pit is just been the traveling. I feel like there's just been loads and loads of traveling over the past couple of weeks. And not that it's like bad to travel. It's just a lot. So like last week I was all over the place, and coming up, same thing. Like this month we're traveling a lot. July we're traveling a lot. Not all bad things, but when you catch that red eye,
girl,
where do you think red eye started? Do you think somebody got off a plane one time and they're like, your eyes are red?
I don't know.
What is a red eye?
What classifies a red eye? Did you say you've never heard of a red eye?
Never.
What's
red eye? Look that up. I always thought red eye.
Did you just say what is red eye, Hope?
No, I should have though. I thought red eye was like when you catch a night flight.
Yeah. Let us see. What is the
like? I think when you catch a night flight and you don't sleep through the night.
I thought that was you're on standby. No, red eye flights depart late at night and arrive at their destination in the early morning hours. Usually, a flight that departs after 9 and arrives at 5 or 6 a.m. shall be considered a red eye flight.
So I didn't really have any red eyes, but I just like saying red eye.
Yeah, you caught that red eye.
I always say when I come home that red eye was tough.
I mean, you might as well shoot. You left at what 3:45 to the airport.
Oh, I guess that is a red eye.
Yeah, that is a red eye. Wait a minute.
God, I didn't.
Yeah, that's a red eye.
Yeah, so I caught a red eye.
I guess a reverse red eye. Because you went in the morning.
Reverse red eye?
Because it's technically you depart late and arrive early in the morning.
Yeah. And so I departed to Idaho. But anyways, I've been traveling a lot, and then
it's been a lot.
It gets different, but not bad.
When you're traveling, so I love the airport.
Yeah.
But I don't travel often enough to get annoyed with it. I wonder if people who do travel often, like some people are catching flights like weekly.
Ugh.
You think they're just like so over the airport. Like I love the novelty of like getting a magazine or like snacks.
I think when you don't
coffee.
do it often, then it's fun.
Yeah.
But then when you do it a lot, you're not boarding like, like a normal passenger. You'd probably do priority boarding because you have so many points, stuff like that. So, but when you're in this middle ground, it's like not only are you at the airport quite often, then you're boarding like if you're Southwest C group, and you're sitting between two people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And,
no, you're right. You're right.
Or you're like on American Airlines and you're like group 7 versus like people who do it often or group 1. Or
right.
If you've never done it, then it's like, ooh, group 7.
I know. Yeah.
But
I think I'm in that phase where like I don't travel enough to where it's still fun and kind of novel.
And some of these airports suck. Like San Antonio's small airport, doesn't suck, but Boise, I tell you, it's like a small airport. There's nothing really there.
Yeah,
it's old.
It's probably so small, but some of them are so cool. Like the Dallas airport's huge.
You know what's good? Denver's is nice too.
Yeah, I heard that's nice.
Denver. I appreciate Denver because their bathrooms. You go to Denver's bathroom, there's this bathroom near C65 or something like that. So, or Gate 63. Gate 63, where it's literally like individual stalls.
Oh, nice.
And Toto toilets.
Excuse me?
You know Toto toilets?
What's Toto toilets?
Name standard for toilet. You know what I mean?
I've never heard of it.
So, yeah. So there's, pretty nice.
That's nice. I mean, we love it. We're going on flights. We're going. Did you realize we're going to New Orleans next week?
Yeah.
I was just telling John. I was like, shoot! I just realized we're going to New Orleans next week.
New Orleans, Subin's birthday.
And get lit.
40.
I'm gonna get lit.
I'm not. I'll watch you get lit. But.
You can be my DD, but we're not driving. Like my designated walker.
Yeah.
You just guide me everywhere.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah, that'll be fun. You can drink. You probably just shouldn't get like wasted.
Yeah, I don't know.
You haven't drank in so long too. It'd probably take like one drink
half
and
of just sip.
Yeah, you'd just be obliterated.
Yeah. So,
but what better place?
In New Orleans. I'm excited to go. Can't wait.
Yeah. Okay, my pit is it was a peak at first. So we celebrated, I can't even remember the date, but I know we hadn't podded since then. So we celebrated a really cool work thing for you.
Yeah.
And my mom watched Julian and we went to Gloria's, which is like a Mexican restaurant here. And we sat at the bar and we were going to celebrate and get some drinks, get some dinner. My pit is the older I'm getting, Ribu, I can't not assess the situation around me. And I cannot not eavesdrop on every dang thing that's happening like around me. So we sat at the bar and it was my bad, but sitting at the very end of the bar where next to me is like the station where the waitresses pick up the drinks from the bartenders. So there was like always a little bit of commotion over there. Day, Oh, it was so bad.
But like you were so eavesdropping.
It stressed me out.
Your drums are as big as Dumbo when you're eavesdropping.
I knew everything that was going on behind that bar. There were 3 people. One was a veteran bartender. We loved her. She knew it left and right. She took good care of us. Another and then the second one was a new like true rookie behind the bar, which totally you need to learn. I get it.
Rook.
I think it was a Friday too.
It was a Friday.
Friday, like pretty busy time.
And you explained the whole restaurant concept where the bar was busy and the new guy wasn't doing. He
wasn't pulling his weight. And he wasn't listening to the veteran bartender, and she was giving valid tips and pointers. Like, hey, you want to run their card first before you do blank, blank, and blank. And here's your juices. You want to like have those prepped with like this, and this. And then she was saying something and she was like, do you mind if I tell you? I literally heard her be like, do you mind if I'm telling you this? And he was like, no. Or he was like, yeah, I got it. Like, he was like, I don't. your boss, like, I don't need you to tell me.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God,
Rook, man.
how rude. And she was like, okay, you know, whatever, you go and like, drown. And he did. So they had to bring out I could tell she was a waitress / bartender. And they were like, get over here and tend the bar. So there were 3 behind there. Things are running low. We weren't getting our food on time. I just can't help but know. I just know so much
going on that day.
Like behind the scenes of a restaurant that I don't know how I know, or I feel like I've just researched so much and I hear so much about, you know, the general manager should be organizing this, and then your chip runners should be doing this.
Oh, you were like the manager called in this person.
Yeah, and I heard, you know, I could tell they said, do you need help? And the veteran bartender was trying to be like, very prideful and was like, I don't need help. And then she turned around and she was like, fuck, I need help.
Yeah.
And so it was just one of those, and it was getting me in a tizzy.
Yeah.
I couldn't enjoy.
You were about to get back there.
I was about to be like, call this, call that.
I was just getting chips and beans.
And the thing I think the root of it all is if something doesn't make sense, and it should in order to properly function, that's where it bothers me. Because they had a whole grad party in the back, like a 20 top table. That's it. 20 top. Yeah. That's at least 4 probably more. Let
me give some background.
That's at least 4 waiters. They had 1 waiter attending this.
Let me give some background to the audience. You can see the intensity in Liv's voice, or if you're watching. For some reason, she loves restaurant atmosphere. Like
I do. I've always loved
restaurant, movie, any like
chef stuff. I love it.
20 top, all these things. She's talking to me, and I'm like, I just ordered salmon. I didn't order anything, but like, so if you hear the intensity, that's why.
Yes,
you know.
I think I've just always liked it because I have always liked a well-functioning machine of a restaurant or a place of business.
Like a Texas Roadhouse. I'm just kidding. I don't know.
No, I just like it when everything. What am I trying to say? When everything is
like there's processes and systems.
I just love systems. I love processes. I love when everybody knows what they're doing, and I love when everybody does it right. And there's like a harmonious tone.
Yeah,
and you can feel it. But then when it's not, you can really feel it.
Speaking of Texas Roadhouse, sorry to change subjects. Our Texas Roadhouse is always packed. Mm-hmm. You think it's packed? Like, there is not one day where the parking lot's not packed.
Yeah, it's always packed.
Do you think they have good systems and processes?
I don't know. I been to a Texas Roadhouse?
We went before boards once.
Oh, gosh.
But other than that, I don't remember it being that good. Anyway, I was just thinking of, like, restaurants.
Yeah. Like I guess this could go into another segment because I want to talk about the show Succession really quick. But that show, if you haven't seen it on FX, called The Bear,
that was good.
Which is the behind the scenes about a chef running a turning around a restaurant. Excellent. I love they do it in how they do it in France. Very militant.
That's France?
No, like the way he runs
gotcha. Yeah.
runs the restaurant. Yeah. So anyways, but do you want to talk about Succession really quick?
Yeah.
Series finale of Succession on HBO.
It was, the beginning Succession was slow.
I fell asleep multiple times. Yeah. We tried to watch it multiple times and I kept falling asleep.
But then they start building up the characters to where, like, in the 2nd, 3rd season, for sure the 4th, you're just invested.
Yeah, you're invested.
And you get to see, like, the personalities of Kendall, Shiv, Roman, and their dad, Logan, and just how they interact with each other.
Yeah.
To where at the end we were like, I don't know if we want to spoil it, but we were like, that's a proper ending.
It was a proper ending, I think. I would sound off if you agree or disagree, but I think it was good. I think it was what it needed to be. Mm-hmm. It was a tragedy through and through. Yeah. That's all I'll say.
But you called it. You called what would happen in the end.
I called what would happen. Not fully, but I called the person.
And you think, I'm just going to, this spoiler alert, so, close your ears. But do you think Wamsgams, his last name, was true? I've been thinking about that, but they never mentioned that.
So no, I saw it on TikTok. I saw one TikTok with like 2 views, and I was like, what is this? And they were saying a baseball player's name is Wamsgams. I can't remember his first name. He was the only player in the history of baseball to do a triple
Triple double.
Triple. I don't know. Something like triple where he takes out like 3 people at one time. And they were saying when there's shows like this, the writers are very clever with the names. And so Womsgams was the only one.
Which is everyone else has a normal, like, right? Mm-hmm. Logan Roy or Kendall.
Well, Roy, there was some other thing to that too. Shiv is a Shiv.
Oh my gosh.
And then
Roman,
there was some connection with the Roman Empire or something like that. Like it crumbled because he crumbled. And then Kendall is something in some other language for something else. And then Roy means kings.
Shut up, for real?
Mm-hmm. So
I can't believe that's interesting.
Yeah, isn't that? That's another thing I love too.
You think they'll ever put like in a show Ribu?
No, baby, I don't think so.
Yeah, but it has to mean something.
Well, we already, I think episode 2 we went into what that means.
Yeah, hopefully one day. But anyways,
so those are the shows we've been loving. I don't think we've been watching anything else.
No, Succession's been the one where we look forward to every week.
Yeah, I can't believe it's over.
I know.
I'm gonna miss the chaos. Speaking of chaos, I'm gonna miss the chaos.
Yeah, the drama.
They're so traumatized by that. The dad,
and they're acting so good. Like Kendall Roy's when he's sad. Mm-hmm. Oh, he's like this. He's just like,
yeah, he's so good. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's get into. So we did our Did you do your? Yeah. Okay, peaks and pits. Let's get into talk about what we've been up to.
Well, I've been traveling the world. No, just traveling to Idaho.
You went to Idaho 2 weeks ago.
I went to Idaho beginning of May, and I went last week. And Idaho's an interesting place. I'm sure I already talked about it.
We talked about Idaho on this podcast, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like going back a second time, it's like, what do people do there? But I think a lot of people...
Nature stuff, maybe? Isn't it pretty?
I guess so. So I haven't explored much of it, so I can't talk about it.
Yeah, you literally went to the same hotel, the same thing.
Service center.
Yeah.
But we had that, and then we had Houston. So it was an interesting week where
Did you go to Austin, or am I making that up?
No, I didn't go to Austin. But I was in Idaho, then flew back the next day to San Antonio, and then the next day was in Houston.
Yes. I could have sworn you went to Austin, babe. Didn't you golf?
No, Austin, no. I didn't golf, though.
Interesting.
But, yeah, Idaho was good. Finishing up my boot camp with my current job. That's what they call them. Mm-hmm. Trainings or boot camps. And so finishing up that, and then, yeah, it's been going good. I mean, Idaho is fun, but the next trip is just NOLA, like you said.
Yeah, we're going to New Orleans, and then we're going to San Diego in July.
Yeah.
And then I think that's it. But, yeah, so we went to Houston. Okay, so we went to Houston. Thank God. I'm trying to see the silver lining in a lot of these things, because at the time when this chaos, the C word, comes about, it's so hard to not catastrophize everything, like make everything seem so bad and urgent and catastrophic.
Yeah.
So they called Rib. His second round of chemo was scheduled for Thursday, and they try and fit in everything in that one day. His labs, some imaging, the meeting with the doctor, and then end with his chemo.
Yeah.
And they couldn't fit in one scan. So we went up to Houston the Saturday before for one mother loving scan. Drove back, and then 2 or 3 days later, we went again for his chemo.
It's weird because they can't fit in one scan.
Yeah, and it was literally one freaking scan. But they couldn't, because as we know, like, that was such a busy day when we were there doing your chemo. That was the longest day of life.
Like the scan. Yeah. So like going for one scan, it's the same thing coming up for my next one. I have to go July 1st for one scan, and then July 3rd, all the appointments. And all my appointments are like from 6 a.m. and we left like at 7 p.m.
I know. When we had gotten his chemo, everything looks very, when you look on it on paper, the schedule is like, oh, we're going to be out of here by 2.
Yeah.
But if one thing will throw off the whole dang thing. So Rib had blood lab tests at 6 a.m.
Yeah, and you can't eat anything.
You can't eat anything. Then you had something at what, 9:15,
and then, but that went over.
So
to like 11:30.
The meeting with the doctor, she called in sick, so we had to wait to do something with this other doctor.
That was like a 2-hour wait.
Chemo was supposed to be at 12:30, and you did not get get a drip of chemo until 5 p.m.
Yeah, 5 o'clock. And we were and it was hard too because we were in the pediatric wing.
So that we saw so like hard
kids like Juji's little younger than Juji, or if not Juji's age, like
balled.
Yeah, and you could tell something. He was just really upset too. So he was he was bawling,
we were in like the little waiting room in the
There's my big ass in a pediatric wing.
Yeah, and like these small little chairs, and there was like and.
I'm sitting next to these little kids,
and I think they did that for like because of overflow or something. And we were so hungry because we hadn't eaten all day. We didn't have time to eat, so we finally were literally like about to open our thing of cafeteria pizza. And I was like, man, who's crying?
Yeah,
and in walks this adorable little boy who looked like Juji with his mom, and he was crying because he's like, I don't want to go.
Yeah, that's what he was saying. I don't want to go. Yeah.
And me and Rib, I didn't even have to look at him, but I could just tell we were like, I'm not staying here with this boy. Not because he was being loud, but I was like, this is too close to home.
Yeah, nope. Like,
so we literally, like, at the same time we got up, we got all of our stuff.
Not like in a bad way.
No, and it wasn't obvious to the mom. And I told the receptionist, I was like, we're just going to go over there. We're going to try and lie down or whatever. So we went to the other side of the hallway, and I was like, nope.
Yeah, it was just too close to home, like you said.
I started crying, like, a little bit. I was like, nope.
Yeah, but like being in that pediatric wing, my big ass in the pediatric wing, because like we were, while they're putting, maybe like 5 minutes before they're putting the infusion within me, you hear this big gong, like outside our door. So there's like individual rooms, and it was this like 16-year-old girl who just got done with her chemo for the last time.
Yeah, you know she rang the bell,
hit the gong,
yeah.
And so
that she was done.
So like hearing all that, I mean, that's little kid. That's Juji age. I mean, so much stronger than me. Like,
for sure.
Like,
God. And I remember my mom was a pharmacist in the pediatric oncology wing, and so she would always say, like, these drugs just take them out. Like this chemo just takes them out, you know. And she would just always say they're so strong. You almost kind of. Not would you would rather have your kid have chemo, but they don't necessarily like know any better. Sure. You know what I mean? So, I just remember her saying that.
Even those nurses, pharmacists doing what they have to do. It's like,
they were the nurse was so sweet.
Oh, she was so great.
She was like, so you want anything? I thought she was joking. She was like, you want anything off the menu? And you're like, off the menu? What is this, room service? She's like, baby, these kids get whatever they want.
Yeah.
And you're like, well,
I was like, well, I'm a kid. I mean they're just so nice there.
They're so sweet. I don't know if we have a choice, maybe we can say, please don't put us in the pediatric wing again. Cause it was hard. It was, we'll take what we can get, but it was tough. It was tough to see. But yeah, your freaking thing, it's a 30-minute infusion. It's not like this is the thing that takes all day.
Yeah.
It is a 30-minute infusion.
And even like, so the infusion ones ended up being at 5, and our doctor's visit was at 11. But Liv said, like, one of the doctors called in sick, which is fine, it happens. But like you were talking about systems and processes at a restaurant, like
there ain't any other hospital.
Once that doctor called in sick, all hell broke loose in that waiting room. Like, not like where it bothered us. Like we just knew we had to do what we did. The doctor's really nice, so like we understand she calls in sick. She still had a plan for us. Totally. She did great.
Totally.
But just like seeing the waiting room and the amount of old people yelling.
Oh, everybody was on
Everyone was yelling at each
level. I don't know. And it was so busy, right? Like it was packed.
Not one chair.
There wasn't any chairs.
And like there's so many people in wheelchairs, but it's not big enough to where.
The waiting room is not big enough to house 16 wheelchairs.
Like there was a moment in the waiting room where me and Liv are sitting next to each other, and across from us is this sweet old lady who is in a wheelchair, and she's trying to adjust herself in the chair, and in front of her is another guy in a wheelchair, right? And as this older lady's adjusting herself in the chair, she kind of almost falls out of the chair. So Liv runs up and helps her back in, but then the guy in front of her in a wheelchair is like hurry up, move out of the way.
Yeah, because his name got called,
Yeah.
and everybody's been waiting. Everyone's behind, so just everybody's energy and mood was really was bad. Like, the temper was bad, and this lady who clearly has cancer because she is bald and older and larger and she has a walker and a wheelchair.
Yeah.
And she had she had to go to the bathroom. It took them forever to find somebody to help her go to the bathroom. She came back and the receptionist like held the wheelchair for her. And then she didn't hold it long enough for her to get situated and didn't put the brakes on. And I just thought in my head, I was like, this lady
about to fall
is about to have a catastrophic accident. And something in me just shot up. And the PT in me. And I haven't touched a wheelchair since PT school. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I was like, where's the brake?
Well, you braked it right away.
Like I've had little kids in wheelchairs.
While you were doing that, I was blocking her feet and her knee. I was like, let's not slide out of this wheelchair.
I know. I was like, nose over toes and scoot back.
It was so tense the line to check in was long. So everyone's waiting and then there's a line to check in. And the receptionist was just fed up too. She's like, next in line? She's like, I said next in line. And I'm like, these are all cancer patients.
Yeah. I think it's so interesting because the people who work there start to get irritated as well at the people. But then I'm like, but these people have cancer. And not only that, every time, because my eavesdropping ass was like, where's everybody from? I could hear them checking in and they ask you like, have you been outside of Texas in the last blah, 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 COVID, blah, blah, blah. And everyone's like, ma'am, I'm from Louisiana. Yeah. And they're like, I'm from South Carolina.
There's like a Georgia.
Arizona. Yeah. And I was like, oh my God. And so that gave us some good perspective because I was like, 3 hours is nothing. Yeah. We are so blessed. Like, because this guy was so pissed.
So angry.
He was this patient, he's like, they were like, Mr. Thomas, it's going to be he's like 5 more minutes and I'm walking out of here. With this thick accent. He's like, I'm done. I'm walking out of here. And he has cancer. Like, it's like, well, sir, you're just going to like withdraw or like not get your treatment. Yeah. And they were like, we're so sorry, sir. We need to reschedule. I was like, please do not shoot up the place.
But no, if he could have waited and got his appointment, he just didn't want to wait.
Yeah. But I think he was waiting for like 2 hours.
Yeah, but we were waiting for about 2 hours too.
I know, but he was old and I don't know, grumpy. Had things to do. I don't know. You're at the mercy of that too. So anyways, that was just like the longest day of life.
But like I should probably talk about another peak was, I always talk about the bad sides of insurance.
Ooh, yeah.
I got to talk about the good sides, not the good side of insurance, but good side of people. This whole insurance thing has been like the biggest headache, but weirdly, there's been like random people who pop up. Mm-hmm. Like nothing to do with the insurance who, like that, to me, that's be all God. Like, where do these people come from? Because, like, it seems like nothing's going to get solved. And then the week before, somebody pops up and solves the problem. So, like, the first time it was Michaela. This time it's a whole different insurance. And, like, I had an insurance plan and my employer pretty much worked with Aetna to get my plan. I don't want to say forced, but get my plan to take. So MD Anderson takes it. Yeah. So to where everything's in network. Like, I was going to pay $18,000. Now I don't have to. I pay my in-network, deductible.
Thank God. But, literally, that was such a stressor, huh?
Yeah. Like, but it's crazy how like he just like Michaela. Michaela said, I'm going to get this solved. A day later, she's like, okay, all done. And then same thing with this. Like this guy, Steve, who is, shout out to Steve Lostlaben. I don't know if I'm saying your last name right, but he's like, I guess, director of HR or whatever for Pennant where I work. And like number one person, reached out day one. He's like held my hand through the process and like fought for me. And anyways, sent me the email saying, this is solved. You're good to go. And I'm like, that's it? He's like, yeah, that's it.
And isn't it crazy that we're kind of all so jaded where we're like, is that really it? Or like, really? Like, and you can't take it at face value for what it is. But I think that part that you said that it's nice to have somebody to hold your hand through some of these things. Mm-hmm. Whether that be, for us, it's been a lot with the insurance, Michaela, and then this gentleman. But they're like, I just always think of people like that lady who's about to fall out of the damn wheelchair. Mm-hmm. Like, who does she have? You know what I mean? Because she was there alone.
Yeah, she was there alone. And she was waiting when we were done.
I was like, girl, you're still here.
Yeah,
She's like, I'm still here, sweetie. I was like, oh.
She's like, God bless you. I was like, man, she's so sweet.
I was like, take her in, or like, have you, and then my mom, I was like, have you eaten?
Yeah.
Have you had your water?
Yeah.
Do you need to pee again? I'll take you to the bathroom.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel for them. Like, it's just rough. It was really rough, or not rough, but it is so, I was telling my mom this. I was like, imagine a mall on a busy Saturday, hustle and bustling. Everybody's and an indoor mall, you know how it's like tight and confined, escalators, elevators. There's just people everywhere. Now imagine all of them bald and sick. That was how busy MD Anderson
and
was.
And little kids too.
And some kids sprinkled in there. And a majority, like old people. We were definitely the youngest in that whole thing. And it is just so jarring sometimes to still see that. And it's so wild because your mom was saying that too. Like, it's crazy that was that busy. That's so sad. And you like keep going back to it and like peeling that out, that this is everybody in this freaking place has cancer.
Cancer, or is like,
had cancer or something, It's just crazy. But it is so funny too. It's not funny. I should not make a joke of this. But it is the weirdest thing to walk around, and everywhere you look, everybody is bald or has, a wig on or a scarf.
It is different, but it's also like comforting too. For me, like everyone is going through.
Yeah. Oh, I see.
That same
that's
thing
true.
of like, we all have cancer, and I think everyone thinks that, but it's like, I'll walk sometimes down the Sky Bridge and I'll see a random person and be like, okay, like you get it. You have cancer too.
Yeah, yeah. And I sometimes do that with the spouse. Like I met when we went on Saturday to get your
there was young people there too.
There was some young people there, and there was a guy sitting next to me because you couldn't eat for this test, and we had to leave really quickly, all of a sudden, abruptly. So we didn't eat, and he was like, "Okay, you go eat, and I'll just eat after." And so I went to go eat, and I wasn't gonna bring it up to eat in front of you. So I just ate in the cafeteria by myself. And there was a younger guy eating in the cafeteria by himself too. And then we kind of like nodded at each other. And then we ended up sitting across from each other. And
Did y'all exchange numbers too?
His wife was the one getting images done. So I think she had cancer too. So it's just interesting, you feel this like
Liv's favorite cafeteria. Went back there today.
Girl, they just do it right. They just do it right over there.
That pizza was good though.
Bomb, delicious.
I heard I was stable, and I was like, "Let me
get some pizza." We heard that today. We should definitely celebrate. That everybody unanimously says you're stable.
Stable, yeah.
Anyways, so that's where we've been. You've been all over. I've been all over. And then we went to Houston.
Yeah.
And it was just chaotic. I feel like when these things come up, especially like things that aren't planned, where they were like, Ribu, we can't fit in an appointment on that day, so you're going to have to come at some point. It's chaotic. It feels like chaos.
Yeah, it's a lot, especially when, it's not like I knew I had to go on a Thursday for chemo and all that stuff. But I found out I had to go the Saturday before, a day before that, you know? And
thank God they're open on
Saturday. And that's where it makes it like chaotic. But at the same time, it's not the worst thing in the world. You know what I mean? It's not like.
No, I think I have been reflecting on like ways to kind of try and stay level in all of the chaos that has been our life lately. And I think there's good strategies to do it. I don't know if you have any in particular. I feel like I have to really work at assessing, reflecting, and really trying to stay present and level-headed and not catastrophize everything, which I'm a true catastrophizer.
So take it out on me.
Yeah, and I'll take it out on people I do not mean to take it out on. So, what I've found has been really helpful is writing things down. Not necessarily journaling, but just like writing what's in my brain, kind of like brain dumping on paper. That's so cathartic to me. And I think that just helps get everything and then gives some perspective when you're writing it out.
Yeah, I think for me, it's more so, I always say, like, especially with work, this has been helping me a lot, just saying, like, nothing's worse than getting the message you have cancer.
Yeah.
And that
I know you've been
moment,
saying that a lot at work.
like anything that I think is going to be a hard conversation, or I'm nervous to have it, or I'm nervous to complete a task.
Or to give bad news to somebody else.
Yeah, bad news to somebody else. I always just think of giving you the bad news of like having cancer, and I'm like, nothing's worse.
Yeah. I remember you said,
that with Juji next to me is like,
nothing's worse than telling your wife you have cancer.
Yeah, and then calling my brother and my family and telling them. Like,
it's good perspective. It's
for me, that kind of gets me. So like when I hear I have to go to Houston for a scan, I'm like, okay, like it for sure sucks, but then it's like, what are you supposed to do?
Yeah,
that's doable. Like driving
it's doable. Yeah, especially like I said, when we were there and everybody's coming from literally all over the dang country, and I don't know what their flight situation is, or I'm assuming they flew. God, can you imagine? So it just gives perspective. So it's bringing more peace to the chaos.
Yeah,
and I think it's been a little more chaotic because you've been traveling for work in addition to like Rib was gonna fly in from Idaho to Houston. And then I was going to drive up to meet him in Houston, but he had to come home early for work. So we ended up driving together. But we, planned that. We got you a hotel room. We did that. It's just a lot of moving parts.
I think in one podcast we talked about like our phrases for the year, and mine was like live in the moment. I think yours was like recovery for yourself. So, or something like that, right?
Girl, it sure was. But like, we're still working on it.
But like that one's been staying with me. Like, try to stay in the moment and not think.
Yeah,
too
you've been doing a great job.
And I think those strategies, like just keeping in mind, keeping in mind your end goal. Like things are going to pop up along the way, but if you remember what your end goal is, then
I think
persevere through
it. For me, with the recovering part I think it just is going to, it takes what I'm learning is, especially in this situation, I can very easily be very comfortable in this like survival mode, which from reading and things on like therapy, TikTok and stuff, you don't really realize how much you're in survival mode until somebody tells you that some of the things you feel are not normal. And I've been in survival mode for so long in my life that I don't know any different. So there's some type of almost like comfort in the chaos, I would say, for me. But it's so different because this is just, it just is so different because I just didn't think we would be doing this like
at this time.
So it's still really surreal, But,
I agree with you. You're right. I mean, it is like I go around sometimes, I'm like, dang, I can't believe I have cancer. Yeah,
it's crazy. And it even like these wins of you being stable, it's just like, I wish it would impact me more. It of course does. And it's like the best news we could ever have. But now it's like, okay, well, we got to go July. And then what are those scans going to say? Or not even that, like the logistics of that. July 1st, and then you have to go back on the 3rd. Are you going to stay? Do I go? Do your parents come down? Does my mom watch Gigi? Like, what do we do with Gigi? Do we take him? Do we book a hotel?
We always figure it out, though.
And we always figure it out. And we are so blessed to have the means to book hotels or whatever. Even though I'm like, man, that's going to add up. Every freaking 6 weeks, we got to do.
Well, not until it's just doing this because I have scans.
Yeah.
So once I get the scans pretty good, I still have to go every 6 weeks for the infusion, but that's just back and forth.
Yeah.
But it's just every 3 months then.
Yeah, that's a good, just an end. Yeah. And right now it's just it feels very chaotic, but I think it'll level out, and I keep telling myself that too.
Yeah.
And I think in the meantime, just like protecting us, our kind of bond and relationship, and not letting that chaos like infiltrate our thing.
You better start journaling now.
Girl, I have to. Yeah. I have to. And just like writing stuff out, like even today, just to-do list things. If I don't, it's just all in my head, and it gets so conflated with everything else they have going on, with like stuff I have to tell John about, or like emails I have to get back to. Today I needed to pay the pool, or like Clubhouse pool. Before it was like a late fee, like that. Did
you get the key?
Yeah, they're gonna drop it off tomorrow. Oh, so yeah, it's just crazy. But I feel like finding things that work for you, and I think just realizing that this is a chaotic time in our life, and not sugarcoating, and like not it is what it is. Like, it's just a tough little time right now.
Yeah. But I mean, going through this, obviously say going through this will make you stronger, but I don't know. I mean, I can't imagine, knock on wood, probably a bad thing to say, but I can't imagine like,
don't you say it.
if we were able to get through this, but it's like you build a lot of character. I even think for Juji too, like being able, he doesn't know what the hell we're doing right now.
Yeah.
He's focused on Miss Rachel, but I don't know. Maybe
No,
in the
that's
future,
true,
like
too.
telling him what we're able to accomplish.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I think, I think he's starting to feel it too, where I think he's definitely starting to notice that we're gone.
Yeah, for sure.
And this is, and in my head, I wanted to protect him from that. But I'm like, this is going to be our life. Yeah. Every 6 weeks, somebody's going to be gone. Yeah. Or, so I guess this is our normal. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I think it's just recognizing the chaos and being okay with it.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. Anything else you'd like to say? Let's wrap up. Ooh.
What is it?
40. Oh, no. An hour.
Girl. No, I mean, I think it's a good podcast.
Quick little exciting time.
It's a big surprise.
We got our first sponsor.
Our first sponsor, everybody.
We're going to do an ad read at the end of this. Hey. These chairs.
Tell you what, my ass hasn't felt more comfortable.
Literally, my butt would be
and it's not even my butt, it's my back too. Like this thing like contours to your back. I don't know how to describe it.
These chairs,
you got his headrest?
Yeah, they're nice. These are great chairs. So we'll have a discount code for you. $50 off of these chairs. We'll do a proper ad read in a little bit, but exciting.
50%
we got
off?
50, did I say percent? Sorry. No, $50 off.
$50 off
your order. We'll put a code in our link tree and all of that stuff too.
Yes, thank you to the sponsor. I mean, this is big.
Yeah, our first sponsor.
And these
chairs are not cheap either. Like, these are good quality chairs. And these are going to last forever too.
I never sat in a chair where your back, like it contours to your back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like where the back moves to where like you can adjust
the
settings. Like it's as they say, independent. In engineering, I was going for engineering when I was at community college. And I was going all the way through. Then my professor gave me a D in calculus, and I was like, he's a hater, so I switched to PT. But we talk about, I don't know if they talk about this, but independent variables, dependent variables, imaginary numbers, the square root, Pythagorean theorem. This company does all that to create this independent.
That's a cell right there.
Suspension.
That's a cell right there.
Back suspension.
Ergonomics, the business of ergonomic chair, desk, furniture, that shit.
And shout out to the guy who sold us this. Can we say his name?
Yeah.
Mike Fahrenkoff. He's a PT.
We went to school.
So not only does he understands what a chair should be like.
Well, here you go, Mike. Here's your ad right now.
Oh, yeah, Mike. And Mike's tall too.
He is. Yeah, like he's very tall.
Victor Wembanyama's brother, 7'3", and he's comfortable. So shout out to him.
Yeah, these are comfortable and they're cute. I like the tone of the fabric.
This is actually a good chair.
Yeah, this is a good chair. Truly, because like my butt, my butt would be killing me by now. Postpartum injury in the tailbone. Okay, do not look at the camera.
Not postpartum.
Do not look at the camera. Oh my god. Cut that for
one margarita. I'm gonna put it.
Stop it right now.
2 margaritas. I'm gonna put it in. Yeah.
Anywho, all right, guys. So I hope y'all have a good week. We'll see y'all next week. Probably, I think we can record before we go to NOLA.
Ooh.
Maybe that.
Any NOLA recommendations too?
Yeah, let us know. I don't know the vibe for like. I'm assuming we're just hanging out on the French Quarter.
Cajun bowl.
Ooh, yeah, crawfish.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I didn't know, like, are we venturing out of, the French Quarter? Or are we just doing it up there? Because I'm down to do it up there. I haven't been there since a bachelorette party in PT school. Girl. And that was fun times.
Yeah, we know.
Really fun times. Mm-hmm. I still have videos. All right, guys. So make sure you like, subscribe, follow us. And we will catch y'all next time. Have a good week, guys. Bye.